if I take my example, I am a working person, and now, like, if I think about this, I will be having so many thoughts across it, ki whether I will be able to manage the things or not. If I talk about different stages, first of all, like, as a working professional, whether I would really like to conceive it or not, right? And very
Yeah.
next, like, when I will be called as mama to be. So whether I will be able to accept with this phase or not. And then
Yeah.
obviously, like, if whether it is gonna create the hindrance to my career. So I would like to understand from you that how exactly you support the women for this, how you make them understand, okay, this is not the problem, how both the things can be managed simultaneously. So can you please throw some lights on this?
Yeah, again, great question, Prachi. So, when we were doing our research to try and understand where Nirvi should lie, should it be focused on wellness? Should it be focused on mental wellness? Should it be only focused on corporate return to work kind of programs, right? We chose this niche because we realized this is a clear gap. When a mother does not feel supported, okay, when the narrative around her or the conversation around her is that beta aap chhod do, it doesn't matter if you leave your job, she will leave her job, right? She
And
will
that is
say,
what
okay,
the most of the people give the suggestion, ki better you leave the job for 9 months maybe or 10 months, and then after that you can
yeah,
think about resuming. But
correct,
resuming is not that easy.
correct, correct. So, what we try and do essentially is that, firstly, uh, again, great point on, someone maybe not even wanting to go down that journey. So that's another part of journey that we get, that I don't want to. So why should I think about all of this? Because I feel it's too much trouble. And that's a clear area that we want to also go into, where we are just addressing the fact that maybe some women don't want to have a baby, and how do we support mental health and emotional health for them, right? Because in a way it's connected. It's just saying, I don't want to be a parent. We have started having a lot of corporate conversations, right? Where we are also trying to understand that in spite of absolutely fantastic maternity policies, right? 6 months of leave, additional leave available if your manager agrees, creches, etc., which are close to site, right? Daycares which are close to site. Some organizations offer just sick days which you can take as per your convenience. Baby, care for baby kind of days. Parental leave in general is going through a lot of positive changes, right? But even then, we find that mothers are reluctant, okay? And that is because of what I mentioned. There's a very strong narrative that says that, around you, that says that, okay, no, you don't go back to work and you see how it is, right? Now, what happens in such a situation, right, Prachi, is that the organization has kind of waited for you for 6 months to come back and resume your role. They will probably wait for you another 2 or 3 months. But beyond that, it's really leaving people in the lurch, right? And that is something that we try and educate all the moms on our platform also, that look, you might have this much maternity leave, you might have had this conversation. But if it is not something that is sustainable, um, you know, uh, rather than leaving your job, here are a few other options you can explore. We do a lot of mindset coaching with a therapist, where, with various therapists actually, where we try and understand what is it that is holding the mother back, right? What is it that is holding the mom to be back and saying that, okay, no, I'll give this up. Because let's also remember that there is a lot of regret, you know, once they leave it, and once they leave their roles, and when they try and go back and they find that, okay, they're not able to find something of their liking or whatever, there's also a lot of regret in there, right? So our goal is to help them via mindset coaching and sessions done, goal setting sessions done with therapists, to just understand that, okay, how can I look at my life holistically and then make a decision as to whether I really need to leave, or making certain tweaks to the way I do my job or I run my daily routine can allow me to continue. So that is how we actually approach it. We, like I mentioned, we're also actively approaching corporates to see what else. And this whole area of wellness support and feeling supported in order to make that transition back is a huge one.
Actually,
Yeah.
I'm getting one more question before Vaibhav asks his question. There is another pressure what I have seen. Ki, okay, during this period, they ask to, okay, you can leave the job and you can just take some rest with the baby and everything is fine. But
Yeah,
sometimes the pressure comes after 2 years, once the baby is grown up and that phase is
yeah,
gone.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
basically that is the another pressure for the woman. How exactly the woman should handle that piece? Are you like able to help this for this piece also? You are able to help through your community?
So we are actually growing with the community, right? And all the babies of the community are about 1.5. So we haven't got to this point where a mom has resumed work. There is a statistic that kind of says that 1/4 of women who resume work after maternity leave, like actually not 1/4, it's about 40%, 40 to 48% of women who resume work after maternity leave, they quit within 4 months of resuming, right? So it's not just necessarily at the 2 year mark. It's, let's say, at about the 1.5 year mark, right? You've gone in 4 months, you've tried and not happening, and you just kind of move on, right? Now, the thing is that at that point, again, your mindset, the way you're setting goals for yourself, all of that becomes super important. You have to set goals holistically. Holistically means that you have to take into account what you have put in, the kind of effort you have put in at work. You have to take into account if you can find a support system that can help you with the baby. You have to take into account if you have a support system at work, right? So all of these things become very important. And honestly, it becomes a little bit of adjustment, a little bit of communication all around, and a little bit of your own mindset.